Hillbilly Blood by Chris Stapleton is going to be played in drop D tuning, and if you don't know what that is, it's where you take your 6th string, which is typically tuned at an E, and you lower the pitch of it to a D, so that it's the same note as your 4th string, just an octave lower. Alright, the intro to this song, there's 2 distinct guitars that are playing. There's one in the right channel of the speaker, and there's one in the left channel that you can hear. And I feel like there might be something slightly off about how I'm hearing these chord phrasings, but the general gist is like 99% there. So the guitar in the left-hand speaker, that's what the one in the left-hand speaker is doing. So I'm using my first, or something very close to that. I'm using my first finger to bar the 7th fret of strings 3 and 2. I'm going to let the open 4 string ring out, and if the open 5 string rings out, that's okay as well, but you really don't want to be letting this 1 string ring out fretted on the 7th fret or open, so just kind of let that 1 string be mute. So this is a D chord that we've got right there. But this chord actually will begin with your 2nd finger. Keep this bar right here because it's going to be needed in just a second. Your 2nd finger will begin on the 2-string 8th fret. And you'll, after strumming this chord, you immediately pull your 2nd finger off to expose where your 1st finger has barred, so that you're going like a, but you're doing it with a pull off from a fret to a bar. And the strumming pattern here is just kind of like a down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So after the first chord, you're going to just take this shape and drop it down 2 frets and do the exact same thing. So your 1st finger is now going to bar the 5th fret of strings 3 and 2. Your 2nd finger will begin the chord on the 6th fret of string 2. And then you'll pull off your 2nd finger to your bar where your 1st finger is on the 5th fret of strings 3 and 2. So that's one thing that is happening. The other guitar that you hear in the right channel, I think that it is just going, I think it's playing those same chords. It's just not doing the little flick thing. So those chords would just be the D chord to the C chord. Oh, that's what I heard it doing. So I hear it sliding up to that 1st chord, and I use 2 fingers to do that, my ring and pinky finger, but if you want to just use the bar, you can do that as well. So like the bar sliding from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, and then the slide down to the 5th fret. So the way that you really emphasize that slide is that you would strum the chord prior to the one that you're sliding to. Like, so if we're sliding to this D chord, I would strum the C chord first. This is the 2nd chord that we've talked about so far as a C chord. I didn't really mention that, but this is essentially operating as a C chord. So we would strike that chord for like kind of just 1 down strum, and then immediately pull up. And then if we're going back to the C, we would hit the D chord again and slide down to the C. Like that. Alright, so that's the intro that we've got going on, and then eventually it gets into the main riff. So that main riff is going to be, your ring finger needs to get planted on the 2-string 3 fret, and and you will use your first finger to hammer on to the 5 string from 5 string open to 5 string 2 fret. So that's the first move. After that hammer on, you can kind of hear a light down pick that happens across maybe open 3 and 2, maybe hitting a little bit of this, open, a slight down strum that happens over the open 4 and 3 with maybe a little bit of this fretted 2 sneaking in. So the second chord though, we've hammered onto this B, then we'll come back to the B and strike it and hammer with our second finger to the C, the 5 string 3 fret. And that little down up repeats. And then we're going to go with our second finger to the 6 string 3 fret, pluck it, open it, put your second finger back down on the 3 fret, pluck it again, and open it again so that you get. And you see what my right hand is doing there. Basically, a down, up, down, up. Open, fret, open, fret, open. Now on this F chord, a lot of times, or I say the F chord, it's not necessarily a full-blown chord, but this is an F note that we're playing right here on the 6 string 3 fret. A lot of times Chris Stapleton will pull this note, meaning that you put your second finger down on it and drag the string a little bit just to bend it, pull that note a little bit, and then back into that D. And that's the verse, and that's also the chorus. Now sometimes I think in the second verse and in the last verse, it doesn't do the double groove right there on that low 6 string. It doesn't go like it does all other points of the song. It goes instead. So that's really just a rhythm change up where you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, as opposed to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first way is to move out of the C on the downbeat of the 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as opposed to 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Alright, so I've probably spent way too much time talking about that rhythm, stumbling, fumbling my way through it. Last thing to know about this song is that little lick that takes place right there. Pretty simple. It is just a C to a B to a G to an F, and then C to a B to an A to a G to an F. I'm going 5 string 3 fret, and I pull up into that 5 string 3 fret with my ring finger beginning it on the 5 string 2 fret, pluck it, slide it up 1 fret, and then right back down to the 5 string 2 fret, probably with my second finger, or probably with my first finger, and then open up the 5 string, and then I use my pinky finger probably, but you could use your ring if it's more comfortable, down to the 6 string 5 fret. This is a G note, so we've got, and then 6 string 3 fret, pluck that, and then open it up. So you've basically gone down, terminating into the low D, and The second time, it doesn't drop to that low D. It just lands and hangs on the F. Very slowly. So those are the chords and the movements to Hillbilly Blood by Chris Stapleton. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.